Right, and figured I'd mention this. I found my old save file and I updated it. So yeah, Ancients. I'm just gonna show you that I have a lot of time to this. I have a lot of Ancients. And you can't. It's a little difficult to tell, but because of some of the Ancients that I have, specifically Bupos, Ancient Disease, my bosses only have half their health, and thanks to Dogcog, my heroes cost pretty much nothing to buy. And thanks to Kuma Wakamaru, I only have to kill about 2 enemies per area in order to move to the next one. What this means is I just started this a little bit, just not even like 2 minutes before the recording started, and I've already made it up to level 311. It's not just the Ancients that are allowing me to progress this quickly. The other thing that is I have these. These are Outsiders. You get Outsiders by transcending, and most importantly, it's what they do. Currently, my DPS is amazing. I'm not gonna lie, my DPS is all kinds of crazy. And it comes from him and my Ancients. And my Ancients are cheap because of him. If I click that, my DPS actually does go down quite a lot. And I put a bunch of points into Borb because he helps me out a bit. If you ever reach the point of transcending, you want to put a lot of your points into Fendoris, but honestly, Borb, Chorgoloth, and Xyloquil are going to help progress you quickly. This just helps as an added bonus. One thing to mention is, if I hover over him, Tree Beast here. The thing about Tree Beast, and most importantly when you level up after level 200, is you can start getting extra damage. Like if I put 25 levels into him, just holding Z and click that, it gives him the 25 extra levels, but then it also multiplies his damage by 4. So, and if I do it enough times, if I get him up to, say, 1,000, his damage would multiply by 10. And you might be wondering why my heroes are all gold, except for Sid. Well, that's because of gilding. Gilding is also something that is really useful. Normally each guild only gives you an extra 50% DPS. I have an Ancient who increases my gilded DPS bonus. And it's per guild, so because I have 121 guilds on Tree Beast, it gives him 121 instances of Argive Ancient of Enhancements bonuses. I've told people before that I can go very quickly, getting up to 1,000 in just a couple of minutes, and as you can tell right now, I've only been recording for about 4 minutes. I should be able to reach 1,000. Well, I'll be able to reach 1,000 by the end of this video. I'll just, as an example, show you that once you reach the point where I'm at, it's not always beneficial to put all of your gold into later heroes. It does cost a lot of money to put points into earlier heroes, but one benefit that you get is that you get those 4x's and those 10x's, and eventually you hit this point where my Treebeast is doing 99.99% of my DPS. And if if I put points into Lilin, she'll reverse that a bit. Only a little bit. I'm playing on the Steam version, so I'm not playing through their website. It doesn't make a huge difference. It does mean that I can't use relics, which honestly, thanks to Outsiders, is not a huge loss. The last time before I ascended, I had a lot of levels. I was in the 20,000 levels that I'd put into my heroes. No, I was in the 50,000s. At this point, because of some of my ancients, specifically Dora, Ancient of Discovery, who makes treasure chests more often. You see a lot of them right there. And Fortuna, who gives me a very high chance of a multiplication of 10 on all my gold, which is where the kind of the platinum coins are. And then with Libertas, because I'm idle, which means I haven't clicked in over a minute, I get that much bonus gold. Mammon increases that amount again, and Mimsy, since I have get so many treasure chests, Mimsy increases my gold again. And Solomon increases my Primal Hero Souls, which, as you can tell, I have a lot of. Vogger decreases my cooldowns. I can level that up higher, but I need more Hero Souls. So, there's that. Transcending, I can transcend for 444 Ancient Souls, but the point that I'm going to be bringing up with that is that your Ancient Souls are equal to a percentage of your souls that you're ascending for, it's a percentage of the souls that you have accumulated, the hero souls. And the hero souls, when you transcend, you lose pretty much everything. So it's important to know that. Basically, it's important to know when to ascend and make sure that you ascend at the right time. If you haven't ascended, ascending early is helpful, but you really want to ascend when you can get a couple points into these guys, since they do a lot of damage. And it's really important to optimize everything you can, because the more you can optimize, the better off you'll do. At the moment, I'm earning so much gold, and I'm moving so quickly that there's no way that I'll be able to keep up with how much gold I'm gaining for these heroes, which is kind of a neat thing. I should be able to make it to about, I think, how high did I get last time? As you can tell, I have quite a few achievements. There's a couple of new ones that I haven't gotten. There's the questing that I haven't really done much for. Or I did, but since my old save file was gone and I lost it, I'm working at this one. I haven't made it to zone 20,000 yet, but I have made it to 15,389. That's where I stopped last time because I didn't have enough damage, which is probably where I'm going to stop again this time. Happens that way. You'll also probably notice that I go through a lot of primal heroes, or primal monsters, which the primal bosses are what grant me these. This is the amount of hero souls that I can ascend for. It comes from Solomon, who is increasing my ascension bonuses. And Morgulus is also increasing my damage. Sometimes you want to keep your hero souls, and sometimes you want to spend them. Most of the time, in my opinion, you should spend them as much as you can. There are good ancients, and there are less good ancients. The beneficial ancients are the ones that increase your gold and increase your DPS. Not that one. There are other ancients that I haven't grabbed, like Chronos, and most of these will, increase. Chronos, for example, allows you to fight tougher bosses because he adds the amount of time required to beat them. And then you have ancients like Energon, who will increase the time of certain abilities. Fragsworth, who will increase your click damage, which for me is not important. I can click and kill pretty much. Well, I can click and kill a lot of things. And there's Juggernaut, who Juggernaut is theoretically good, but not if you're playing the passive strategy like I am. The passive strategy allows you to not click and still progress very quickly, as you can tell. There's the active strategy, which can get you farther, but it does mean that you're going to be earning less gold. It means that you're going to be using a lot of your abilities very quickly and going through them a lot. I don't personally go for that strategy. I don't find it really the most effective. It's not a bad one, but the last time I ascended, I was doing about I want to say I was doing the amount of gold I had was, it was a lot. I think I can check and see how much it was. I should say what I sacrificed the last ascension. Maybe it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't anymore. It used to say how much I lost the last time. Oh, and I have been playing for almost 2 years. Not quite 2 years, but close to 2 years. I've been playing for 636 days. There's 365 days in a year. Last year was a leap year, so out of 700 and let's see, something like 700. I don't know this off the top of my head. Out of 731 days, so I'm actually only a couple months away from hitting a full 2 years on this. I think I've done rather well for myself. The earliest patch that I know, or that I started playing in, had from Sid to Frostleaf. And then later on they added the Rangers, which would be Dread Knights, to Australia. And then after that they added the Mythics, who would be Chiron the Mage, or Chiron the Archer, Moloch, Bomber Max, Gog, and Wepoet. But if you are watching this, you will probably be playing on an older version, so you most likely won't see anything past Frostleaf. And that's kind of to be expected. There's a lot of more complicated things involved in this game. It's not something that you really need to worry about, but there's a lot of complicated numbers involved with getting the most efficient strategies, or getting the build that will get you the farthest, maximizing your ancient soul, maximizing your hero souls. There's a lot of small things that really affect what kind of strategy is wise, and it's really going to depend on your particular playstyle. If you play the passive route, like I do, then you're going to want to really focus on increasing your DPS and increasing your hero soul gains. If you play the active route, the biggest thing that you want to do is make sure that your abilities have really low cooldowns, or that the times that they last for are a lot longer. And the benefits of that are quite a lot. It doesn't mean that you can take out bosses a lot more efficiently, but if you're at the point where I am, there's not a whole lot of benefits to that. Oh, there's my first relic. My first relic is useless. My first relic is useless. If you're wondering, this is Clickstorm. I have Clickstorm. My Clickstorm will go for almost 3 minutes. What that means is that my cooldown will be done before my Clickstorm is done. So, I think I'm going to end this video. Just wanted to show you guys, yes, I play Clicker Heroes. I'm also very far in it. So, I think that's all for me. And I will upload this. Well, I think I'll probably make it come out about Wednesday. So, goodbye.